So in today's Picks Parenting Plus segment, we're going to focus on helping parents address these tough topics with their kiddos, right? Following, of course, the deadly Midtown shooting.
And so how do we help our kids process this information when it hits so close to home? And how much do we say without increasing their anxieties? Well, we're turning to parenting expert Dr. Shefali Sabari for some guidance this morning. So good morning, Dr. Shefali. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us this morning.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
So can we talk about what is the best time or the best age or the appropriate age really to discuss this type of tragedy with our kids?
Well, every child is different, so we have to take in their developmental maturity in mind. But generally, if they're old enough to have heard about it, then they're old enough to need our help to process it. So for younger children, you can keep it simple, just reassure them we're safe, we are, out of harm's way. That's what they need. For older kids and teens, if they're seeing it on their phones already, our role is to help them make sense of it and feel emotionally supported. So let them lead the way, make sure that they can come to us with their anxieties, name it. Name the feelings, and your regulation around your own feelings is going to be one of the best ways to help them through this, because they're looking to you to get an indicator of how scary this is.
So should the parents be the ones initiating the conversation about the news, or wait for the children to come to you and say, what's going on?
Well, if you are aware that your child already knows about it, if your child is young enough to be blissfully unaware, then you don't have to. But if you're aware that your child may know about it, you should take the lead, because if you stay silent, then children tend to fill in the blanks with their own fear and confusion and misinformation. So you can simply say, you may have heard something about what happened today. Let's talk about it, see, where they are with it, and then help them process it as much as they need.
But even as parents, we're trying to process it. So how important is it for us to kind of maintain a calm demeanor during this time?
It's pivotal. I mean, our children absorb our mental and physical, emotional well-being. So our regulation is the key. If they see us freaking out, if they see us losing our equilibrium, then nobody is going to be helped. So processing your own feelings as a parent, taking care of yourself, making sure you talk to a coach or to a therapist or to your friends, and your regulation is going to help them and their nervous system get through this. Listen, there are no answers. Life is unpredictable, but I'm your parent. I'm going to keep you as safe as possible. We are safe right now, and bringing them back to the present reality is always helpful.
Yeah, that's all really important stuff. And in case you don't know if they know or don't know, what are some behaviors that maybe you can pay close attention to in the days and weeks ahead that could indicate that children are having a hard time processing what's playing out in the world?
Well, there's so much anxiety in our children right now. They are absorbing so much from our world, the chaos of our world, because of social media. So pay attention to any kind of withdrawal, changes in eating or sleeping, increased irritability, tummy aches, school refusal. They may get scared to go on a subway now. So understand that these are the aftermaths of this general anxiety that has taken over our culture these days.
So you just said that chances are, especially if you have an older child with a phone already, that they've probably seen it on social media. So should we be limiting then at this point access to electronic devices, since this is going to be all over the news?
As a general rule, teens under the age of 18 really have developing brains that get very attached and affected by the dopamine hits that social media and technology is providing. So as a rule, we want to limit it for children under the age of 18 because their brains cannot process. But taking it away like a punishment is never going to help. Instead, having conversations, talking about it, helping them curate their content, helping them see through the fake news, that is the way to give them better digital habits.
Okay, so can you give us an example then of successful parenting, especially for tweens and teens, because they're strong-minded and they're going to want those
Yes.
phones, and they're not going to want to be. So how do you go about this connection over control in an example?
Yeah, that's what I teach in conscious parenting. I teach this all over the world, which is the foundation of building a strong connection. What does that mean? when you are, wanting to lecture them and control them and punish them or shame them all the ways our parents raised us, that's where we become aware and conscious. Yes, we create solid boundaries and we help them see the natural consequences of things, but you focus on the bond between the two of you, which means you show up without giving lectures, without giving opinions. You think about how they're feeling, you attune to what they're going through, and you center their experience rather than make it all about yourself.
Yeah, we have to listen and acknowledge their feelings. Dr. Shefali, so wonderful having you here this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And you have a workshop, though, coming up this Friday, too, to help parents get through these challenging years with their teens and tweens. So we'll be sure to have that information on pix11.com.